My name's Adelani. Thank you for getting it right this time. And by the end of my speech, I actually want to know if you can guess my dream. Firstly, I actually want you to understand that I'm not here for me. I'm terrified. I'm actually terrified. I'm shaking. I was terrified ever since I was young. I was terrified of my parents, terrified of the world, but I wasn't too terrified to steal stew from the pot. I was actually, most importantly, too terrified to dream. Whenever I saw something that I wanted, I wouldn't just reach out and take it. I didn't really think I could have much because of where we came from. I always thought that a dream was something far away. So when Claude told me about practical dreamers, I thought, what an oxymoron. I couldn't define what a dreamer was as someone who's impractical, illogical, doesn't exist within this world. How can you be practical and impractical at the same time? My inability to succeed actually created a stigma. In short, it was a self-perpetuating belief, and it became about my own self-deprecation. I was afraid to reach for what I wanted, afraid that these large hands would make me look oafish and ungainly. So, can you do something for me for a sec? Look to your neighbor. Thank you. Guys, you might be a bit shy about this. Just look to your neighbor and tell them you have large hands. I'm sorry if your girlfriend doesn't let you come home tonight. No, turn around and say you have large hands because they were designed to hold the world. Yeah? No, say it. Don't just arm me. Say it. So I actually want to focus on fear, how to dream, and more importantly, when to fight for it. Show me your hands if you've never failed at anything before. If you've never been afraid to try something new, or you've never been afraid to succeed. No one? Can you please show me your hands if you have been afraid to try something? Superman. Please, can you tell me why you've never been afraid?
I didn't hear the question, so that's why. But I'm a very scared guy.
So now can I ask again? I'm just teasing. No, lesson one, fear and failure don't actually come hand in hand, pun intended. Realize you don't need to be the strongest, you don't need to be the fastest, you don't need to be the smartest, and I don't need you to be the best. But you do need to dream. Something you'll be prepared to stay up for at night, to work that extra hour longer, to say, do you know what, I'm going to put in this extra time, and I'm going to love doing it because I have a dream and I love it, it's a passion, and it's what makes me thrive. So often we go to a day job, I go to a day job, and I do it over and over and over again, and I do it because I tell myself I love it, but really it pays the bills. Whether others drop out, you'll be there because it's something that you thrive for. If people aren't laughing at your dream, then I need you to dream bigger. Has anyone ever told you something and you've looked at them and said, all right? I need you to dream until you're scared to dream and can't dream anymore. What we'll begin to notice is that as we get older and as we get wiser and grow grey hairs, we gain more risks on a daily basis. We have kids, we have families, we have commitments, things that we're tied to. So how do we dream amongst that? How do we continue to be ourselves? How do we continue to reach and thrive for something out there without losing ourselves? Without jeopardizing what we've already built? Do you know that right now, you're already building the foundations for who you'll become? Do you know that?
Yes.
You do? Fantastic. Lesson 2, know that you'll need to fight for it. Actually, when I started my A-levels, I was a very troublesome kid. I got in trouble all the time. You know, the kid at the back of the class that nobody wants to sit next to because he would always bring down their grades. And, did you say we know? I love that. As I got my A2s, I got A, B, B, D. That was all well and good, but I couldn't get into the universities that I wanted. At that point in time, I thought, all right, cool, you know, I'll just hit roads and become one of those guys once again. I wasn't a road guy, just for clarity. But no, actually, what I realized was that you have options. You always have options. Every time that you decide to do something, that you decide to make an action that lets you move forward, that could be something as simple as walking down the street, could be something as simple as saying hello to a stranger, that is an option. That's a decision that you're making. So if you decide to be tied down by balls and chains, that's a decision that you're making. If you aren't where you need to be, that's your fault. Don't blame anyone else. Don't blame anyone else. Don't point the finger at him, her. It's wonderful having plans and thoughts, but we all have that friend who doesn't actually do anything with them. You know? Funnily enough, yesterday when I went to the barbers, I told him I wanted to shape up, you know, I wanted it done very specifically. He looked at me and said, yeah, sure, don't worry, I've got you. So many times have I ended up bald. If your thoughts don't actually see the light of day, what use are they to anyone? Really? What use are they to anyone? They're no use to yourself. They're no use to the people that you're proclaiming to help or to do anything about. If you say I'm going to open a cupcake shop, and I say okay, and I give you 5,000, you better open a cupcake shop, because I'll be coming for my 5,000. Do you understand? But when I tell you to fight for it, I don't mean just fighting against those who wish you badly. Yes, there will be people that don't want you to succeed, they don't want you to achieve, and they sure as hell don't want you to dream. But most importantly, we need to fight against ourselves. We all have our own demons. You know, that thought that tells you you can't or you shouldn't because you're too weak or you're too afraid or you'll fail, people will laugh at you. That's your demon. Are you facing up to it? Since when did you need validation to dream? Last time I checked, we're not living in communism. We're not living in a dictatorship. We're not living somewhere where our thoughts are censored and we can't reach for what we want. Your thoughts will either fuel or hinder your success. I studied philosophy and we came across an individual called Wittgenstein, and he described, you'll come with me, he described language games. You know, every time that you think something, as I bore you right now, you're thinking in your mind, okay, right, what's he actually said? As you think in your mind, you're thinking in English, or Tree, or Gar, or whatever you do speak in, and you're thinking in a language, and the thoughts that you're feeding yourself are what are actually going to help to forge and sculpt the character you're going to become. If you tell yourself, I can't do this, I can't do this, I can't do this, by the time that opportunity comes, and believe me, it's only coming once, you won't do it. You won't do it. And you won't do it because anyone else flopped you, or anyone else stopped you from achieving what you needed to do. You won't do it because you weren't prepared. You weren't prepared not only for the situation, but to believe in yourself. Can I ask you to do something for me? Yeah? Can you stand up? I won't lie to you, I enjoy having this power. Can you turn to someone? And I don't mean your neighbor, because we've already done that. Can you turn to someone diagonal or across the room or something like that? Alright, I didn't say introduce your life story. Alright. I need you to tell them something. Say these words. Be more brick.
Be more brick.
Why did I tell you to say be more brick? That's what I thought. You just said it. You just said it for no reason. Be more brick. So you're not like paper in the wind that's thrown about by the winds. When someone challenges your beliefs, your ideals, and your morals, you'll stay firm. You'll say, this is what I believe is, This is the foundation that I've established. No one's going to tell me what I can and can't do. Maybe you see it. I like you. I like you. I like you. So at the start of my speech, I said that I would see if you could guess my dream by the end of it. Actually, I'm going to tell you it. Okay? Next time that they give us lies, we'll give them truth. When they mock us and laugh at our dreams, we'll stand firm. Are we going to stay silent? No. Most of you stay silent. Are we going to stay silent?
No.
Are we going to stay silent?
No.
If we stay inept and we can't adapt to people challenging our beliefs, we'll be no better than a non-believer in church, myself. We'll be no better than people who are molded by any message that they hear, any words that they hear, and stand for nothing. Practical dreamers, today marks the start of the rest of your life. And I say thank you, MLK. Thank you, Baldwin. Thank you, Malcolm X. Because you've laid the foundation. And now we can build on it. So as I leave today, I need to ask you something. Are you going to be practical dreamers? Or are you going to be dreamers? Are you sure? Are you ready to prove it? I'm just teasing you. No, thank you for your time.
Would you like to be at our next event? Visit dreamnation.co.uk and join our free mailing list in the top right-hand corner. You will receive exclusive content and free updates on future projects so that you'll never have to miss out again. Work hard and keep dreaming.